Good morning, children. Welcome to 8th Standard Social Science class. I hope you all are fine during this pandemic situation. Children, we are in the history lesson 5 Educational Development in India. In our previous class, I explained about Educational Development in India Part 1. That is the ancient educational system, sources of learning, Gurukula system, Viharas and ancient universities, educational system during the medieval period, modern system of education, and the role of Christian missionaries. In today's class, let's see the continuation of the lesson, Education in the British Rule. Actually, children, history of education in the British rule can be divided into 4 periods. From the early days of the British rule up to 1813, period from 1813 to 1853, period from 1854 to 1920, and period from 1921 to 1947. The first phase was started from the early days of the British rule up to 1813. Here the company's charter was renewed in 1813, which compelled the company to assume responsibility for the educations of Indians through a very limited scale. Children besides missionaries, non-missionaries like Raja Ram Mohan Roy of Bengal, Pachayapar of Madras contributed to the cause of education. The second period was started from 1813 to 1853. This period was also marked by great education controversies concerning the issue of educational policy, medium of instruction, and method of spreading education. These controversies were partially set at rest by Macaulay's Minute of 1835. It was encouraging English education for upper classes. Children, the third period from 1854 to 1920, which is called as an All India Educational Policy. It was commenced by Charles Wood's dispatch of 1854, which is called the Magna Carta of English Education in India. Since it was the first declaration of English education policy for educating the masses at all levels. The fourth phase was period between 1921 to 1947. It may be called as the period of provincial autonomy. The Act of 1935 ushered a new era of educational advancement through the country. After the Second World War, a very important educational development known as the Surgeon Report in 1994 was prepared. In the year 1937, Gandhiji evolved a scheme popularly known as the Varda scheme of basic national education. Through this scheme, he wanted to develop those qualities in future citizens of India which he considered necessary for building a non-violent society. These were the notable educational centers that evolved during the British rule in India. Now we will study about educational development of independence India. The new epoch-making era in the history of education was ushered with the attainment of independence in 1947. It brought a new hope, a new vision, a new future for Indians. In 1948, Dr. Radhakrishnan Commission was appointed to present a report on university education. In pursuance of the Commission's recommendation, University Grants Commission was constituted to determine the standard of higher education. Education Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. D.S. Kothari was appointed by the Government of India in 1964. Free and compulsory primary education for all children up to the age of 14 years and uniform educational structure 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern were its main recommendation. Next comes the National Policy on Education. The first National Education Policy of 1968 marked a significant step in the history of education in post independent India. It aimed to promote national progress, a sense of common citizenship and culture, and to strengthen national integration. In the year 1986, the Government of India introduced a new education policy. The aim of new education policy was to transfer a static society into a vibrant one with a commitment to development and change. The new education policy was revised again in 1992. The Sarva Siksha Abhiyan SSA is the Government of India's flagship program that was launched in 2000 to 2001 to achieve universal elementary education UEE. SSA is now the primary vehicle for implementing the provisions of the right of children to free and compulsory education Act 2009 RTE. Right to Education RTE provides for free and compulsory education to all the children from the age of 6 to 14 years. The goal of RMSA is to make secondary education qualitative, available, accessible, and affordable to all young students in the age group of 15 to 16 years. Comes the educational development in Tamil Nadu. The Tirukural stresses the need for education and warns the danger of illiteracy in Tamil Nadu. Hyun Sang gives a graphic picture about Kanchi Buddhist Center, and Kanchi was considered as the main center of learning. Raja Raja Chaturvedi Mangalam was the famous seat of Vedic College. Tirubhavanai Vedic College flourished. Tiruvidaikalai inscription mentions a library. Veerarajendra refers to a medical school. The Pandya kings patronized Sanskrit in an exemplary way. The educational institutions of that period were called as Gayachika, Salai, and Vidyasattana. The famous college during the Pandya region was Kandalur Salai. Next comes the education in modern period. Fernandez, who came to Madurai during the time of Veerappa Nayak, established a primary school. The Maratha ruler Sarfoji too collected the old records and kept them in the Sarvaswati Mahal Library, Tanjore. He also had a printing press with Devanagari type located there. Actually, Sir Thomas Munro, the governor of Madras Presidency 1820 to 27, was highly responsible for the introduction of Western education in Madras Presidency. The Madras University was founded in 1857. It was the first university in Tamil Nadu under the British rule. Next, in 1929, Annamalai University was founded. Last comes the education since independence. Free education at the secondary school level was introduced in the year 1964 to 65. The Gandhi Gram Rural College was established in 1975. In the year 1956, midday meal program was introduced in schools. Later, it was extended as nutrition meal scheme in 1982 to avoid dropouts in schools. Let's see the odd words and its meanings. Controversies, disagreement, commenced, started, autonomy, power, epoch, a particular period of time, assured, show or guide, pursuance, course of action. Let's see the abbreviations. SSA, Sarva Siksha Abhiyan. RMSA, Rashtriya Madhyamik Siksha Abhiyan. RTE, Right to Education, SMCS, School Management Committee, UEE, Universal Elementary Education. Children, we have come to the end of the lesson. Go through your textbook and read the lesson. Thank you and have a great day.